Welcome to Health with Kylie and Kylie podcast. I am Kylie Jade.
And I am Kylie Ham, and welcome to this week's episode, which is Fitness Fundamentals Part 2. Last week we had Fitness Fundamentals Part 1, and we talked about definition of fitness. We talked about the key components of fitness, such as cardiovascular exercise, muscular strength and endurance. And this week we're going to touch on a few more subjects, such as flexibility training, body composition, the principles of exercise program, setting realistic fitness goals, and the importance of rest and recovery. But first, a quick life update. Kylie Jade, what have you been up to this week?
Not a big change on last week, to be honest. This bathroom renovation is still continuing, so we're getting through that. Just some workouts, the same old, really. Like, not much has changed. Today in Melbourne actually is above 30 degrees for the first time this summer, I think, so I'm enjoying that. But yeah, not much has changed for the week for me. What about you?
Yeah, nice. Are you still having to shower somewhere else?
Yes, I am. It's looking like another 7, maybe 10 days.
Yeah, wow. And I do note, I don't think you're wearing a hoodie this week, so it's definitely warmer down there.
No.
Yeah, so what have I been up to? Busy week. My youngest daughter got her P's, so that was very exciting, a bit of a big milestone. She end of mum's taxi for me. I guess no more having to drive children around, which is, I guess, it's bittersweet. It's the end of an era of a very long time of driving children around, but it's great for her. She has a bit more independence and drives safe. Caitlin, work's been busy this week. Training for me this week was peak week. So tried to push a bit harder in each of the sessions, definitely feeling it in my body today. Been a bit sore, especially my legs. And yeah, so nutrition-wise, just been eating at maintenance. Had some really on-point track days, but still managed to go out for dinner last night, which was great. Had a new Korean restaurant, tried that out. The food was very nice. Yeah.
Yum.
All right, so let's get into today. Fitness Fundamentals Part 2. Let's start off talking about, we talked last week about the importance of strength training. Let's talk a little bit about flexibility training.
Yeah, sure. So when you say flexibility, what does that mean for you?
Yeah, so I guess for me, it means the ability of our joints and our muscles to move through their full range of motion. I guess some examples of flexibility training would be stretching, exercises such as yoga and Pilates are fantastic for flexibility training. Personally, myself, I am not very flexible, overly flexible at all. I have not really ever done any flexibility training. I definitely see, the benefits to it. I would like to stretch more. I did go through a bit of a period of time where I was having a bit of a stretching routine at night, which was definitely helped my flexibility. But to be honest, I would be lucky to do any proper stretching at the moment. So how about you?
Yeah, I'm similar. I never really used to incorporate it too much. I have been probably for the last, 6 months maybe nearly, focusing on a decent warm-up and some mobility sort of movements, purely because I was finding myself pulling up really tight and really stiff and not recovering or being able to perform well in the next session. So I have been focusing a little bit of more mobility. I I've done yoga a couple of times, but it's a little too slow for me. I find it hard to switch off. So maybe I should try and make that a goal this year to slow down a bit. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
similar. I don't focus too much, and I probably should, and I definitely do see the benefits in it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think obviously some of the benefits are that it reduces our risk for injury. It improves our posture as well, and overall, it enhances our overall mobility. So I think I don't know how you feel about this, Kylie. I feel like a warm up is more important than a cool down. What do you think?
Yeah, I would have to agree too. Obviously, a cool down is fairly important, but I would say that if you only had time for
Mm,
one or the other, prioritize the warm up
mm,
for sure.
yeah. And what kind of things do you recommend for your clients or your clients do for a warm up?
So I put notes in there for them to warm up. It's usually like probably 5 minutes of banded work, and then I suggest that they do a little bit of foam rolling and then perform like their main lifts at like around between 30 to 50% of their working weight. Like start off lighter, do a couple of sets, and then build on it. So they should be doing probably
Mm,
at least 2 or 3 sets at say half their working weight in a main lift. But yeah, I tell them not to spend too much time, but I'd say at least
yeah,
5 minutes on the banded work and then a couple of sets on the lifts. What about you?
yeah, perfect. And yeah, very, very similar. I guess more like a little bit of a cardio warm up as well for me personally, and also the client. So if they can, I guess 10 to 15 minutes jumping on a treadmill or a walker or a bike or something, and trying to get their heart rate up a little bit. Obviously, getting an increased blood flow to their muscles, getting them ready to exercise. So and then
Yeah,
yeah, a
I
little bit
suggest
of
a
a
5 minute quick
stretching, that
walk, especially in winter,
banded
to get that
work.
blood moving through.
Mm, yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. And like you said, yeah, if you're in the gym, yeah, having a warm up set is absolutely ideal, in terms of warming up those muscles and being able to perform for your bigger lifts as well. So yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Now, a cool down. What would a cool down for you look like?
If I had time, I would, yeah, again, spend some time probably. First off, I would finish off I
Yeah.
do finish off my normal session with at least 5 to 10 minutes on the treadmill. I try to go for longer, time permitted. And if I had an extra 10 minutes there, I would also go again on the foam roller, just in those more tighter areas to release some tension. Generally, my legs and glutes.
Yeah, yeah, same for me. I try to get in a good 10 to 15 minutes on the treadmill. I guess it's trying to just warm down, get a few steps in at the same time, and a stretch.
Yeah.
I tend to maybe do a bit of stretching in between sets as well. So like today, my legs were super sore. So I was stretching them in between. I was doing an upper body session, but I was stretching my legs kind of in between the sets as well. So um, I guess it's just a
Yeah, time efficiency.
time efficiency thing. Yeah. I like, gee, my legs are sore. I'm just going to stretch them out while I'm having a bit of a rest here. So yeah, that's perfect.
Love it.
Um, I guess like other forms of rest and recovery, and I don't know if you've ever, so you've got like your, and we'll talk a little bit about this later, I guess, and maybe we can kind of go into the importance of rest and recovery at the same time. Like we do need to allow our body time to recover from exercise. Um,
Absolutely.
so obviously sleep is of very high importance in that area. Um, obviously when you're sleeping, your body is in its most relaxed state and the muscles are able to repair themselves. So what are your thoughts on like exercising every day, people who are not having enough active or passive recovery time?
Yeah, as I think we touched on this slightly last week, I suggest and sort of allow for myself and my clients at least 2 days a week where they're not in the gym. One of my clients has just dropped an extra day to allow for a day of running. So she will lift weights 3-4 times a week and then focus on one or two runs. So she's at least not putting her muscles under the bar and all that for 5-6 days a week, as well as running. But yeah, rest is also important for obviously muscle growth. The muscles actually grow, I suppose you could say, while they're in the recovery state. Like you tear them in the gym and then they repair and grow outside of the gym. So rest is definitely important.
Absolutely. I think, a lot of people sometimes can, they want to be pushing themselves, 6 or 7 days a week. I think if you don't give your body a chance to rest and recover, and I guess as you get older, this becomes more prevalent. Your body is not able to cope as well as it used to with a heavy exercise or fitness regime. So it's really important to have that downtime. You can still go for, a light walk, something like that, on the days that you're not training. It's good type of active recovery. But
yeah, just something a little less stressful on the body.
Yeah, it's important to have those days off. I guess some people might think that to lose body weight or to gain muscle, you have to be working out and getting your heart rate up there every day to be burning fat. But we know that that's certainly not the case.
More is not always better.
Yeah, so it's really important that you have someone who understands the program, your fitness program and your fitness regime, and tailoring that to you and how you can manage your time, but also allowing that time for that rest and recovery. I guess it's harder when we're talking about, being in the gym 5 days a week. And I know you're doing a 5-day program at the moment, Kylie, and you're running as well, I believe. So how do you fit your recovery into all of that?
So the runs are definitely not big runs. They're 2-3 kilometers. So I do put them in on my rest days from the gym. I did try and run on my upper body days, but I've found that being generally after a lower body day, it wasn't ideal. So I do structure it so my rest days are the cardio days, and that's purely because it's not like a 5 or 10K run. It's just a quick little 10-minute, 15-minute lap around the block. So I find I can recover quite well. I still obviously am quite stationary most of the day, so my body is less like not active throughout the day, so it is recovering, and I am getting 8-9 hours sleep a night, so I find that recovery is still there.
Yeah, that's awesome. I guess that just highlights the importance of having a tailored program structured to you, because you do have a sedentary job. You are able to be a little bit more active, I guess, than some people on other days or on rest and recovery days, and that little run for you is your active recovery. So I think it just highlights the importance.
And I'm definitely not out there trying for
programs.
fastest laps and best times and stuff. It is just purely out there for a jog, for as I say, 2-3K. I'm just testing my cardio fitness a little bit, and my knee. I've mentioned a few times that my knee sort of stopped me from running a few years ago, and I'm just seeing how far I can push it before it starts to hurt, and that's around the 2.5 to 3 kilometre mark, so I'm not going past that. And as you said, like I am sitting all day, so I've
Yeah.
got 8 hours of inactive time, so I can make up a little bit of more active time around work.
Yeah. And I think the most important thing in all of this is to listen to your body and know when your body is sending you those signals that you're pushing it too hard. So yeah, it's really important
Absolutely.
to listen to those signals. Don't ignore them and keep pushing, because then your body is going to start pushing back, and that's when we tend to get injured or we become unwell
Yeah.
if we have depleted our immune system as well. Have you ever had any injuries from overtraining? Do you believe?
No, as I said, going back 10 years ago, I used to run 7 kilometers every day. And I think that's what happened to my knee. Like it just got overused. But apart from that, no, I haven't. I've been quite lucky. I don't think I really have ever overtrained, to be honest. Yeah, I went through a stage of doing group fitness classes 6 days a week. But once again, I focused on recovery. So it was okay back then. And it was a lot more beginner sort of style training. So I would never train 6, 7 days a week now.
Me either.
Have you ever been injured from
um,
overtraining?
I, similar to you, I believe when I was running a lot, I did my knee did start to hurt. The joints were hurting. I had to go and get treatment from the physio because I could hardly walk on it for a period of time. So, and I
Oh,
guess that
wow.
was kind of my cue to say, yeah. And look, I wasn't strength training at that time. I believe now that
Mm.
strength training is so important. It really assists us in that rest and recovery as well. And prevents those injuries. So
I was
yeah,
just
I
about to
wasn't
say,
doing
I
that
found
at
that my
that time.
knee is holding up better now that I have been focusing on strengthening my lower body. Because back when I was running as well, it
Mm.
wasn't much. It was, yeah, the circuit boot camp style training, but it wasn't focused on particular strength training exercises, so to speak. So now that I've got a structured strength program, I think that it's helping my knee a lot better. So you're right. I agree.
Yeah, definitely. I have only injured myself in the gym once. And that was very early on when I was starting strength training, doing a kettlebell RDL, and I injured my back slightly. So obviously that was from incorrect technique, not from overtraining. So then that's really the
Overtraining.
only time. Yeah, I've injured. Other than that, I have never injured myself in the gym. How about you? Have you ever injured yourself in the gym?
No, probably similar, incorrect technique. Back in the boot camp days, lower back tenderness often, always. But now, once again, you focus on form and correct technique before anything else, and it's subsided quite substantially. So that's always good.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to what we were saying last week as well. I think that if you are starting out in the gym, make sure that you engage a personal trainer for at least the first couple of sessions. And a lot of gyms like give you a free personal training session as well to make sure that you are using correct techniques,
Yeah,
and so you're not going
definitely
to
important.
injure yourself. Yeah, yeah, perfect. With recovery as well, I know like things like recovery rooms are becoming quite popular. Unfortunately don't have one here. We're in Port Macquarie where I live. Otherwise, I would probably be going there. But things where they have compression, yeah, hot and cold baths. I don't know. Have you ever done anything along those lines for recovery?
No, so a gym that I still pay membership to that I haven't attended in like 18 months has all that stuff. I just have never used it. I have used the sauna, the infrared saunas, but I haven't used ice baths,
Yeah.
compression,
Mm-hmm.
or the hot cold transfer, like the baths, hopping from one to the other. I haven't done any of that. It's all there in the membership that I pay for, but I have never used it.
Yeah, wow. I think as an exercise for this podcast, Kylie, you need to get yourself along there and let us know what it's like, because yeah, I don't have access, unfortunately, to anything like that. But There are
Yeah, I definitely should,
many
especially while the
research
weather's
benefits
good in
behind.
Melbourne. Maybe it's the ice bath kind of weekend.
Yeah, yeah, get there. You have to
I
film
do
that
I do
one
do
if you're
cold
doing
showers
that.
every morning if that's
Mm.
counted.
Yeah, that definitely counts, and I have been doing that as well, trying to make the water colder each time, but
Yeah,
it definitely feels good. So perfect.
yeah. I'm getting a lot of
All right,
reps in, we'll call it,
let's.
while summer is around before winter hits in Melbourne because I think it's going to be quite hard.
Yeah, you might have to hit the sauna more so, or the hot bath.
Yeah,
I do like a hot bath in winter. I do find it very relaxing and does help with recovery as well. So yeah.
yeah. I've
Um,
just ripped my bath out, so there goes that.
well, a lot of houses don't have baths anymore, do they?
No.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the principles of exercise programming. I guess we've touched on this a little bit last week and this week as well. So we talked about the importance of a warm up and a cool down. I guess if anyone's giving you a program and it doesn't have a warm up, then be a bit wary about that. Um, Frequency, intensity, and the time of the workout. Again, it's very personalized as to what your
Yeah.
client's goals are, or what the person's goals are. So it's I guess we want to talk about maybe being wary about people making their own programs. I know that there's apps that you can download where makes you a gym program or makes you a cardio program. What do you think about those types of programs, Kylie?
Um, they are very obviously copy paste. They're definitely not personalized. They don't account for whether you're a beginner, whether you have actually learnt the correct form and technique. Look, I guess if it gets you started and gets you moving into the gym and you do perhaps have access to a personal trainer or a coach to help correct your form whilst you're learning and it helps you get there, go for it. As opposed to being goal specific, yeah, I would say hire a personal trainer or a coach instead. If your goal is to grow some glutes and you're doing a full body program
Yeah.
and it's 2 days a week full body, obviously that's not glute focused. It's not tailored to you. But if it's for a beginner and it's helping you get to the gym and go consistently 3-4 days a week, then use it to start. What's your thoughts on them?
Yeah, I agree. I think, it's important to follow a program. Don't just go into the gym or, and do these kind of random exercises. You're not going to, I guess, make any gains or improve anything if you're just going in and working different muscles each time. The programs that
Yeah,
are the most effective is called progressive overload. So, do you want to tell
yeah.
the listeners what progressive overload looks like?
So, I guess to simplify it, progressive with my clients, their training phase goes for 6 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks. And obviously, they start off the first week of getting to know the movements, getting to know the structure of the program, getting to know roughly where they're at when it comes to load that they can lift. And then each week, they're going to build on that progressively. So, whether that's upping the weights each week, slightly upping the reps each week, or slowing down the tempo each week that is headed towards progression. So obviously, if you up the weights, you're lifting more. If you're upping the reps, you're also lifting more volume. And then if you're slowing the tempo down, it's more time under tension. So those three sort of ways are ways to progress and cause progressive overload in the gym. Obviously, most of my clients who are beginners, most of their progressive overload is upping the weights each week or each couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's really important to follow a structured program. So you can, you're gradually increasing and you're challenging yourself each week. You don't want to be going along and doing, the same thing each week, or your heart rate's not going any higher. Like that. I guess overall, like, it's good, it's great. Get out, do things. That's fantastic. If you're looking to improve your fitness, then you need to, have a bit of a program. Just be aware of what you're doing and challenge yourself. You just don't want to go along and just lift things without thinking about it, or doing cardio without thinking about it as well. I guess you want to have a bit of a purpose, have a bit of a focus as well. So it's
definitely have some
important
intention
to
behind
make
what you're
sure
training
have
and
that in
why.
your programs.
Yeah, and communicate obviously
And
with
I
your
guess
coach.
that comes back to your
and
goals.
yeah, and some of my girls have said, "Oh, I'm like, can we change the program?" And it's been like 2-3 weeks in, and I'm just like, no. We keep it at the 5-6 week mark. Obviously, the longer is better, so we can keep performing those same movement patterns, getting better at it, lifting more, putting the muscle under more, I guess, stress to be able to grow, repair. But then I also don't want to keep it for 8, 9, 10 weeks, the same program, because you do get bored. So I think 5 to 6 weeks is a good sweet spot to put and keep those movement patterns going. But then also, obviously, boredom will kick in, so we switch it up slightly, but still keep the same sort of movements, just mix up what days and what other accessory exercises are around the main lifts.
Yes, definitely. I think, and the most important thing about having a coach is that they can tailor those programs to you. And I feel like it's important for our listeners to understand and to kind of hear that it's not beneficial to change the program every week. It's most beneficial to be doing the same exercises for that 5 and 6 week period, because we want to nail the basics. We want to make sure. I know it might be boring, and look, I relate this to nutrition as well. Like, I eat a lot of the same things week in, week out, and have done for a very long period of time. So boring works. Boring absolutely works. If you find something that you like and it's work, you stick to it. And like, I'm sure you're doing the same lifts you have been doing for years. I'm still doing the same lifts I've been doing for ages. It's not, we don't have to be mixing it up and doing different new exciting things each time. And it's important, I think, for trainers, coaches, and for clients to realize that it's not beneficial, and we don't have to be coming up with these whiz-bang exciting programs each week. It's really important that we stick to the basics and we keep repeating those. Do you agree?
Absolutely. So a quick touch on, I guess, we've mentioned sets, reps, and tempos. Do you want to elaborate on what those 3 words mean to people that don't know?
Yeah, whoops, sorry. I guess sometimes we get a little bit caught up in our terminology that we use all the time. So sets being so if we're doing an exercise, so reps would be repetitions. So that could be, if we're talking in the gym, obviously we can, generally we start out with like 8 repetitions, then we might gradually move up to 10, then 12, and then 15 potentially. Sometimes with some exercises we can go up to 20 as well. So that's what we mean about repetitions, and that increase is what we mean about progressive overload as well. That's it. Like you said before, you can achieve progressive overload by increasing the weight, increasing the reps, slowing down the exercise, and really focusing on that mind-muscle connection as well. So there's different ways that we can achieve that, and that's how we mix up the programs, and that's how we keep them challenging, and it's how we keep them a little bit fresh and exciting as well. So that's repetitions. Sets is the number of repetitions that we repeat. So it might be 3 sets of 8, or 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 12, 3 sets of 15. We can go up to 4 sets as well. one of those might be a warm-up set, or when you're really pushing in a peak week, it might be 4 sets of a heavy weight, or your heaviest weight that you have been able to manage at this stage. And look, I guess we should talk about managing ourselves with our fitness and how do we measure that. So RPE, Kylie, did I talk about sorry, you said sets, reps, and what was the other one?
Tempo.
Oh, tempo. Yeah, we talked about tempo a little bit. So yeah, tempo, the speed
Just
that
the speed
you're
of the movement.
performing the exercise. Yeah. So sorry about that. So I get carried away. RPE.
So rate of perceived exertion. Obviously, rate of perceived difficulty, hardness, whatever you want to call it. It's a measurable scale generally of a 1 to 10 sort of scale, 1 being pretty light and relatively easy, and 10 being like your max effort, like you've got 1, maybe 2 reps in the tank and you are done, like cannot lift any heavier, cannot lift any more. And obviously, how hard you've worked is where you rate your RPE. A lot of training apps, I know the one that I use with my coach and the one that I use with my girls, gets you to rate the workout overall on a scale of 1 to 10 RPE.
Yeah, spot on. Yeah, it's obviously each exercise I would set an RPE, so it gives the client an idea like how hard to work, I guess. So I might say an RPE of 7, so you want them to be working at least at a 7 out of 10 with how hard they're feeling that they're working. And that rating system is individual to each person. So for me, a 10 out of 10 is like 1 big massive lift, like that 1 rep lift. And generally in my peak weeks, I try to work at 8 to 9 out of 10, where I don't have any good set left in me, pretty much. And then my other weeks, I try to always work at least at a 7 out of 10. So, but yeah, very individual to each person, but it's just gives an overall kind of rating as to how hard we're looking for people to work.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Correct.
Perfect. All right. What else do we want to talk about? We are going great guns.
I just want to put a little side note on when and if you are ever entering the gym and entering a program, before tackling increasing the weights for your progressive overload, always make sure form is on point first. Before obviously increasing the weight. You don't want to hurt yourself. Form, leave your ego at the door.
Yeah. 100%. It's so important. You don't want to injure yourself, and you want to be able to perform the exercise. Like you can slow it down a little bit to make it a little bit harder for yourself, rather than lifting a weight that's too hard for you and you're going to lose your form. So
correct.
Yeah, really, really great point there, Kylie. Fantastic. Okay, let's we touched a little bit on goals, and setting realistic fitness goals for yourself, and everyone is different. It might look at like, I just want to do a 10-minute brisk walk a day, and then for someone else it might be, I want to hit the gym five times a week, and on the other days I'm going to do a little bit of cardiovascular work. So I guess it's just important to have a think about what your goals, what's achievable for you. And we talk about our SMART goals, so the specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time specific or time bound. So whenever I'm talking to clients, about their goals, you want to make sure that you're ticking all those boxes. And I guess that's the best thing about working with a coach, is that we can tailor your goals and align them to like your personal preferences and your lifestyle, and find something that will work for you. Let's talk about, do you have any goals going on right now, Kylie?
I have a slight weight loss goal. I think we've touched on that. I've got 7 days left. I wanted to tighten things up for my birthday. It wasn't a specific number. It was just I wanted to go into a quick 4-week deficit. Apart from that, yeah, I just wanted to see if I could run the 3K this year comfortably, which I think I've ticked off and am nailing. So I guess I better figure out another one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a bit the same. I don't really have any SMART goals going on right now. I have more broader goals, I guess, just to maintain and I guess, push in the gym a little bit. I think we both have goals to do a bit of a build in the middle of this year.
Yeah.
So I guess the challenge is, and I don't think either of us have ever done anything really like that before, structured. So the interesting thing is, seeing how that goes. Yeah, that's
yeah. I guess it's going to be a mental goal for us both.
When it comes around to that, yeah, definitely. And yeah, I think maybe when it comes around, we might have more SMART goals or more specific goals as to a certain amount of weight that we want to lift in the gym on a particular lift or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
I do have a lifetime SMART goal that I never seem to be able to tick off. I want to be able to eventually do unassisted pull-ups, but it's not happening yet.
I'm actually like, so I go in there and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna like give pull-ups a go this time, and I just chicken out every time when I'm like, oh, someone's watching. What if I can't do it? I'm like, yeah. And like, I'm not really one to care about. I'm not really one to care about what people are thinking in the gym, but
yeah, me either
for
anymore.
some reason, yeah. So anyway, well, I think that's about it. Did you have anything else you wanted to add for this week?
No, I think we've ticked off all of my little dot points that I had as well.
Yeah, I think over the last 2 weeks, we've ticked off a lot of the key fitness fundamentals. If any of our listeners have any questions, please flick them through. I think it's really important for listeners to embark on their fitness journey with a really solid understanding of the basics. And a great way to get that is to hire a coach. So, so reach out to us. Kylie, what is your best contact?
Probably through Instagram, which is at KylieJade_coaching. Even if I can just help you out with a question through the DMs, like you don't have to sign up to coaching. I'm happy to help with just any random questions. And what's your Instagram handle, Kylie?
Yeah, absolutely. Same here, definitely happy to help anytime. So Healthy Aging with Kylie with underscores underneath each word. And make sure you give us a 5-star review and subscribe to the podcast. We would love that.
Yes,
share on your socials. And yes, yeah, I think that's about it. So have a good week, everyone. We will see you next week.
Until next week, goodbye.